And what do you want to show your readers about human nature? You know, because, you know, like human nature is interesting. Like, you know, we're not writing fairy stories. I think I know all of you enough to know that you're not the fairy tale romance, like everything works out in the end, you pray and everything works out perfectly in life. People, because we know that life... Sorry, Jeanette. Sorry.
Christmas is not real.
We have tears here. Yeah. Like, you know, if you have a very strong sense of justice, for instance, you know, you have a very strong... I know a few of my friends have a very strong sense of justice about what's right and wrong, and you just know that there are going to be people out there that rip you off, you know, and you might want to show that, but then what do you want to show about how you can deal with that, or how you make sense of it, or how you can make something positive out of that, even if, you know, because we, you know, what are you going to show about us as humans? It has to be human, and it has to be real, and it has to be relatable to people. So if you're not showing you can't be preaching at people or just telling. If you're writing a non-fiction book about, you know, how I'm going to tell you how to live your life, and because I've got it all right and I've got it all worked out, you know, and you know, and I'm just going to, you know, it's all very lovely. I can't do that, and I don't want to read stuff like that. You know, people were talking about Elizabeth Gilbert before Big Magic. I mean, it's one of my favourite books as well. You know, I'm reading, you know, I won't go into it now, but, you know, I'm reading all sorts of things about faith and religion and stuff that I would never have read 5 or 10 years ago, and now I'm like, I cannot read that anymore. Now I want to read something that's a bit more open, or about human. What does it show? Like, how does, you know? Anyway, that's another whole topic. But whatever you're writing, like I've just finished a women's fiction novel about a grandmother's marriage that was a real partnership. She had a partner through life, and the granddaughter just idolised this marriage and thought it was just the best, and that's what she wanted out of life. Then she got married, and it didn't quite work out that way. She just thought you should be in an equal partnership. You shouldn't be, you know, used or abused or whatever. And this poor guy thought he was getting into like a normal, what he thought was normal relationship, and, you know, and it's this whole big story, and it goes on and on and on, and I'm like, I can't actually have them stay together at the end. You know, like, I just can't do it. And because it wouldn't have been real, you know, for that character. And these people become real to me. It's not like I write, it's strange, but I just go, that person, if I did that, that wouldn't work for them. For that person, that's not going to be the right answer. But there's always hope. So my books don't have a happy ending generally. Not happy, or they have happy-ish endings, but they always have hope. So for me, I want to show that human beings, no matter what happens, at the end of all this crap that can happen, there can be hope. So when I talk about human nature, unpacking that, that's what I mean. And it, you know, you don't have to expand on it, just too personal, because some of this is extremely personal. But it's something to think about before you actually start writing. And I think, why is it important for you to tell this story or write about these ideas? Why does your story matter? And again, you might think, well, isn't that the same question? How do I want to change the world? You know, what do I want to show people about life? Yes, it is important for you to show this, but maybe it's something personal in you it's been something that you've wanted to... Like, I just read Claire Bowditch's book, what's it called? Something about Be Your Own Girl or something like that. Your Own Kind of Girl or something like that. it's brilliant. It's about anxiety and eating disorder and stuff, but it's done in such a fresh way. And she said when she was 21, she vowed when she was going through her worst stuff that one day she would write a book about this to help people. And now she's 41 or 42 or something, and she's written this book about. And because for 20 years she'd still been working this stuff out and what have you, but she knew, she'd promised herself at 21 that one day she would write about this and help other people. So, what's your reason for, why is it important? Why does it matter? Not just to the world necessarily, but it could be for you. And I think if you think about these things, I know this is probably deeper than every time I do these things, every time we get deeper and deeper, because I think it actually helps your writing. It helps my writing. And if you've read my books over the thing, I think my books are getting better, not necessarily because I'm a better writer or anything like that. I think it's because I'm understanding how, as a reader, why do I love this book? Why do I get engaged in this book? And I guess as you go on in life too, you get more experience and you start to want to leave a legacy. That could be another part of your thing of like, well, what message do you want to leave behind for the next generations that are coming through? To help them, like Claire Botich's thing. When I was 21, I thought I'm going to write the book that will help people. And then she had 20 more years of stuff happening to her and working stuff out. I just went, that's brilliant. That's a brilliant thing about why does it matter? Because there's a lot of people who suffer from anxiety and all this, and So that's a pretty deep thing, but you've got till March. So over the Christmas holiday, not all of you have Christmas holidays, but over the Christmas period, things tend to quieten down just a little bit. They might not, especially in January, you might just get some time, even if it's a few days here and there, just to start thinking about it. But the retreat is primarily, as Sharon was saying, is enjoying the experience together. But if you want to write and make progress, then this is what it's for. But if you want to just relax and just come home and be inspired afterwards to write, that's perfectly fine. But I think what we want to know is what you need to get. So if you've got an idea, what do you need from us to help you to find what you need to finish it, or to get that motivation, or the little jigsaw piece maybe that you've been missing that you just didn't know that you had, that you just might click into place for you. So that's what these questions are. And because of my lack of technology, I was playing with pages and I cut off a little line at the bottom there. That's why you've got the little handwritten bit. I just looked at it this morning and went, and I'd already taken it to Officeworks to get printed. So, but about the joy of life, and I love this quote at the bottom. In France, we have a saying, joy. How do we say that? Joie de vivre. Joie. Which, I'm not very good at French, as you can tell. Which actually doesn't exist in the English language. It means looking at your life as something that is to be taken with great pleasure and enjoy it.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So that is what this retreat is about, to progress your writing, enjoy the wine, the ambience, but also to take it with great pleasure. And I think we're very privileged to be able to be going.
I know.
Absolutely. Very privileged, because a lot of people this would be their one thing in their whole life that they would love to have the opportunity to be able to do. And I think each one of us, and I know some of your stories, I think each one of us is so privileged to just be able to say yes and to be able to actually do this. So we're really looking forward to you being there. Yep, I know. We won't want to come home. I found that at the end of these retreats, I've been going to one in Tuscany, and Neve, who's coming from the Netherlands, that's where I met Neve. I've been on 2 retreats with her, and there's a whole groups of us now that are such good friends that we fly around the world to meet up with each other. Like, you know, like
Nice to do.
yeah, Neve is driving all the way from the Netherlands to Paris and then picking me up. She goes, "I'll pick you up." I'm like, "I'll just pick you up." I mean, you know, like you go. That's, you know, but that's the sort of friendships. Yeah, it's the sort of friendships that you can make at these things because you are vulnerable, and you only share what you want to share. You don't share anything that's not safe to share. But when you share your soul in your writing and you get some feedback from other people and stuff, it's like this, like Jeanette, I met Jeanette because Heather told her to come and see me about writing. And since that day, it's like, oh yeah, we've known each other forever. We've only known each other a couple of years. We were in the same circles, but we never actually came. But because of, you don't start crying. But yeah, it's you know, we've cried together, we've laughed together, you know, and it's not just about the writing. It's actually a real connection, and I know that's what Kate works towards as well. The other thing that we're going to be working on while we're there is Kate. Yes, I know it is ridiculous. We're all crying here.
Oh, are you going to make us cry in France as well?
Probably. Kate, some of you have seen Kate's book, The Dream book, Dare to Dream? Destined to Dream. I always think Dare to Dream, Destined to Dream. Yeah. And we did at the Inspire Collective retreat at Dunsborough in September, we did a few pages of it, and I said to Kate, this book is made to be workshopped. It's just, you were there, it was incredible workshop. So we're going to do some of that as well. And I think the fact that we're having all our meals together and all that, you know, just sharing all that time together is so special. It could be. We could write a story about it. Yes, it could be. Yeah.
We'll be bigger than Calendar Girls, I can tell you. We will be bigger than Calendar Girls. There's 12 of us, that's one of mine. Yeah, this is it.
Oh gosh. Okay. All right, so we're just going to say goodbye now to the people on video, and we're just going to continue. We'll toast you with a bit of champagne, and hopefully we'll see you before we go to France, but if not, we will see you in Confalon in 2020.